Hello everybody, it is I, Walter the Germany Ball, and I am here with my top 10 Nintendo 64 games video. This has been a lot of work, and I'd like to give a special thanks to my friend Prince Bapalapa Shamalama Ding Dong, who was also anonymous in the Minecraft Tour 2.0 video, and I'm very appreciative that he took the time to work on this script with me. It definitely would have taken a lot longer if it was just me, so I thank him for that. And without further ado, let's get into game number 10. So at number 10, we have Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Kirby 64 is a great game that mixes up the Kirby formula by adding impressive and intriguing camera angles unlike any other Kirby game, giving the illusion of a 3D Kirby, which sadly we have not truly gotten. And no, Air Ride and Blowout Blast don't count because they're spin-offs. It also introduced the idea of combining two copy abilities to make a new copy ability, like that cool lightsaber, the fire sword, or the melting ice ability. Truly, this is one of the most unique yet forgotten games in the Kirby series, and that's a great way to end the Dark Matter trilogy of Kirby games. And at number 9, we have Pokemon Stadium 2. Pokemon Stadium 2 is a great version of the Pokemon series that presents itself like any other Pokemon game. However, don't be fooled, as this game is truly unique. It's like playing a regular Pokemon battle, but on a home console instead of a handheld. It may have frustrating controls and confusing uses of modes, as well as the fact that you can't choose which moves your Pokemon can learn. However, this game does a great job of providing a fun and addicting Pokemon experience that has a perfect difficulty. Of course, you can't forget the fun minigames and extras. Coming in at number 8, we have a classic game, and that is Mario Kart 64. This sequel to the beloved Super Nintendo racing game that hasn't aged the best really overdid it. It has a bunch of fun tracks that you can drive around, new items to end friendships with, and it has a very fun charm to it. It also introduced new modes like mirror mode, battle mode, and more. Overall, this is a very fun game to play, especially on multiplayer, where you can race your friends to your heart's content, or at least until they rage quit. Coming in at number 7, we have one of the greatest and most innovative first-person shooters of all time. At least it's considered that. Goldeneye 007. I guess you should call it Goldeneye 007 because it's number 7 on our list. Sorry about that joke. Anyway, this game is actually great, and you really do feel like James Bond while playing. The game provided tons of explorative abilities in the well-designed levels. The controls haven't aged well, and this game gets too cryptic by only level 2. However, the experience is amazing while it lasts, and everyone should definitely play this game. It gives you the sense of empowerment and feeling of being awesome, matched only by one other N64 shooter. Coming in at number 6, we have another rare game, and you might be getting sick of them, but this might be one you haven't heard of. It's called Blast Corps, and it's a great, fun game that focuses on multiple different vehicles and their destructive properties. Every vehicle has unique abilities, and they all have the ability to demolish the entire town. Most of the game takes place while you are clearing a path for a helicopter to land, or a train full of explosives to pass by. And every single tiny explosion is so satisfying that this game is truly incredible. Coming in at At number 5, we have Ocarina of Time, a game considered by many to be not only the greatest Nintendo 64 game of all time, but the greatest game of all time. And though I somewhat agree, this is an incredible game. And this is a truly modern masterpiece that really set the bar for 3D Zelda games after it. It includes some epic storytelling, puzzles that really make you think, and boss fights that require good strategies. Plus, you can smosh plots in glorious 3D. An amazing amount of care and love is poured into the design of the open Hyrule, with emotional music and beautifully crafted characters. This game invites you into a charming, incredible world, and it has not aged the best. However, the 3DS remake is a supreme upbringing of the classic game. Coming in at number 4, we have Super Mario 64. This is a game that started the entire 3D era of gaming pretty much, so it's a very important game. Sure, the game is on everybody's favorite Nintendo 64 games list, but it's easy to see why. The gameplay is just so fun, and there are a lot of cool puzzles. And while the game is old and underwhelming compared to newer games in the series, it has this charm to it that no other game has. It is true that this is a great innovative game. However, it stays at number 4 due to the poor level design in the middle and very end of the game, mediocre boss fights, and controls which are impossible to replicate on modern system. That hurts the experience unless you happen to have an original Nintendo 64. Overall, though, this is an innovative and incredible game. Coming in at number 3, we have Rayman II. Sure, this might seem as an odd choice, along with the fact that it has better versions on other consoles like the Dreamcast and the PS2. However, the gameplay is really fun. There's some of the best storytelling in any Rayman game, and it's a perfect mix of seriousness and humor. It's full of different gameplay styles, like riding a rocket with legs or flying a powder keg. Sliding segments and the bosses are just so unique. It's a game full of emotion and epic storytelling that has to be on this list somewhere. It's a great game that revolutionized the platforming genre along with Mario 64, and another game we'll be talking about soon. But just trust me, because this game is utterly incredible. At number 2, we have Perfect Dark. Yes! This is the game that defeats the awesome feeling that the player gets from Goldeneye, and this creates an incredible world that makes it feel as if you were truly in the game. Sure, along with Goldeneye, it's not exactly perfect. The controls haven't aged well. However, it is still tolerable and provides a unique option to use 2 controllers as 2 sticks, as well as the fact that there is a great remaster on Xbox Live Arcade, on Xbox 360, and I believe Xbox One. This game may dip in quality in the later stages, but this is still a not only impressive, but incredibly fun and addictive experience that is way less scripted than it may seem at first glance.
Why the big hurry?
If Dr. Carlo's not expected tonight, Data will put him through mind conditioning.
Well, I don't know exactly what that was. Possibly a hint, sneak peek at our first number 1 game? Probably not. But before we get into our number 1 pick, we'd like to go over some honorable mentions. Number 1 is Armorine's Project Swarm, which is a fun alternative to the rare shooters on the platform. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which we were going to put on here, but we decided against it since we already had one Zelda game. Paper Mario, which is a very funny game that kickstarted a series that sadly has been neglected and in decline, but the original is still a very fun game. Mischief Makers, which is a fun and underrated platformer, as well as Banjo Tooie, the sequel to Banjo Kazooie, which is sadly not as good as the original. However, it is still a great game full of charm, and it attempted something big by making a much larger world to explore, which hurt it in some aspects, but was an innovative step that was creative in some ways. We also have Conker's Bad Fur Day on here, which is a hilarious and inappropriate game that's a smack in the face to everything else that Rare did in terms of platformers. Instead of being cutesy and colorful and for kids, it has so much inappropriate curse words, and it's just a hilarious game. We also have Super Smash Bros., which kickstarted the famous fighting series. Now, I'm not personally a fan of the series, and that's nothing against Smash. I appreciate it, and I think it's a great game. However, I just don't like fighting games that much. But I know that this is a great game, and it kickstarted a very famous series that represents all of gaming history. And our final top pick for honorable mentions, number 7, is Donkey Kong 64, which is similar to Banjo Kazooie and all the other Rare platformers, and it evolved the Donkey Kong Country series, and it's still a great game, just a bit confusing. That's why it's not on the list. So, I suppose we gotta get into number 1. Yeah, this is right, Banjo Kazooie. This game is so great that me and Prince Bapalapa Shamalama Ding Dong had to write our own separate parts, each to describe how good it is. We both had some similar things to say about the game, but trust me, you'll want to hear both. I suppose I should start off with my part. This game is absolutely incredible in every way. I've played it to no end. People often claim the games are impossible to put down. However, this game is one of the few that truly fits that category for every kind of person. Even as a young kid who was hostile towards any 3D platformer not on the PS1, I absolutely fell in love with this addicting, tightly designed, and creative game. This is my 4th favorite game of all time. No joke. I love this game. Every level is filled with a new and exciting group of ideas, characters, puzzles, challenges, collectibles, abilities, and beautiful areas, along with so much more. Each part of this game is filled with character, and the music is that just absolutely magical stuff. The design is something matched only by Spyro and sometimes Mario, because there are no parts that make you go, "Ugh, that part." There is not even annoying backtracking like the sequel, no annoying levels like most 3D platformers, and even the water levels are good. And as for Prince Bapalapa Shamalama Ding Dong's part, it says that this game has a ton of stuff to do, so you won't get bored very often when you play this game. Also, this game has a sense of humor multiplied by 10, so we'll just have tons of fun collecting the items in this game and playing. This is a very big collectathon, so there are a lot of things you can collect, so you'll always have a goal on what to do in every single world. This game is living proof that Rare should never have been sold to Microsoft, because the N64 Banjo games are a lot less disappointing than a certain vehicle-based game that we got on the Xbox 360. Overall, if you decide to play this, you're making the right choice, because you'll be playing this game so much that you'll probably finish the game before you even know it. So yeah, guys, overall, those are our top 10 favorite Nintendo 64 games, and I just like to say this video took a lot of work, a lot of scripting and filming and editing, but it was all worth it, and I hope you enjoyed. So make sure to comment down below any other top 10s or regular videos you'd like to see, Make sure to hit the like button and be safe, everybody. Goodbye.